It's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. YK in the building.
Good morning.
Looking all lovely and what's up? I'm on Teku mood today. What's up?
You say so.
Say anything.
I will see them.
No, Ozokwor is more like a symbol. Yes, they are the security, but
Even if you are the leader, is it now you do security guys?
How do
I'm fine, I'm fine.
Anything interesting?
Nothing interesting.
Okay.
Remember something interesting?
While you are booting, don't worry, we'll come back to you.
forget.
You understand? Come to the age, you write it down. Understand? How you doing, Topsy?
I'm good.
The hair is pretty.
And I'm enjoying it. Yes. Hair by BC.
Oh, lovely.
As in, she's interesting. So I wanted to talk about, I wrote a post yesterday about three things that I cannot tolerate. And a friend of mine just sent me a private message and we're discussing that one of the things I cannot really, I don't like anybody cursing. It's sort of like really, sometimes when I'm watching a movie and there's a lot of cursing, I'm like, can you not just say the same thing without cursing? So yeah, it happens in my head. Then I can't stand just idle gossip. You know, you're just chatting. Just call me to say, hello, how are you? Just want to check on you. Did you sleep well? Did you eat well? I slept well. I ate well. We're not that close. Don't go into that space, you know. So it was just like, but people have a right to check on you, and you don't need to be close for somebody to check on you. But I just feel like sometimes it's just.
I have that thing too. When you call me, just go straight to the point.
Yeah.
Hi. Just say, so how are you? How's the children?
But you know where you're going to.
Just go straight. Hi, Mariah. So the other day I wanted to ask you concerning it. Just go straight to the point. Don't go that preamble. It's unnecessary.
It's courtesy, Abi, but.
You haven't even had the ones that will say, how is your night?
How was your night?
How would you know to my night?
I was on top of you. Somebody was underneath.
If you ask me, how is your day going? Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
How is your night? What is your business about my night?
How
you doing, Jared?
I'm fine.
I like your outfit.
Thank you very much.
Too.
Wow.
Looks like something that you would get.
Okay, it's mine, but TVC did a good job as well.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, today is World Environmental Education Day.
Oh, nice.
Environmental what? Education Day. So it's just a day to commemorate, teaching people and bringing awareness about our climate, about our environment, and also encourage us to have responsibility towards the protection of our environment and our earth. So I like to say that now I'm a proud advocate for environmental conservation and protection, and so I'm using today to remind us that we're responsible for keeping our environment safe, keeping our environment, maintaining and protecting our environment so that we can hand it over to our generation to come.
Because if they give us lights, we won't have to
we will not use generator. You know, generator is one of the
so that's what
causes of
exactly. We're encouraging people to look at clean energy, like solar powered. Those are things that we can do. Any little thing on your own you can do to just help in maintaining and protecting our environment.
Fantastic, it's good. I mean, I used to the time where in my head, whenever I'm driving and somebody throws something, I will literally chase the person, block them, stop them. But my brother had to warn me, well, you can't be doing this. It doesn't work. He'll just beat you up and you won't even know where to find you. So, but I mean, it irks me when I see people throwing things, even at this time, especially from downfall buses. They're always throwing things conveniently, and they end up forgetting that those things, they're not biodegradable, so they'll definitely block somewhere. So they're somewhere, they'll flow somewhere, block a drainage, and it's just causing things, making things worse.
Remember.
Oh yes, so please, we have a few days left. Please pick up your PVCs. I picked mine, Chocolate picked hers, you picked yours. Mariam, have you?
I've always had
You've always had yours, so fantastic. So we are eligible voters and we are ready to vote. But please, Nigerians, go pick it up. I won't put I'm going to try to put the website, it was crv.inecnigeria.org. If you go there, put your data, your phone number, you give it like a slip. You now fill it in and now tell you where to go pick up your PVC. If it's ready, you see it's right there. It's really, really straight to the point.
Can you use your old PVC?
You can't use your old PVC. You have to have the new PVC. So please, please, please go get your PVC. Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with The Nation. So, Tinubu, fifth columnist behind petrol scarcity, Naira redesign, and others. Those plotting to deal with me won't win election, says Wike. No cash supply at ATM points over scarcity of new notes. How Africa can banish food insecurity by Buhari. Bomb blast kills 51 in Nasarawa. Impeachment, Ekiti court orders parties to file process, and US slams visa ban on enemies of democracy. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Okay, so I'll start with the unfortunate, very sad, concerning story that happened in Nasarawa State. So it's been reported that at least 51 persons have died or have been killed by an airstrike in Rukubi community in Eke development area of Nasarawa State. They said that the bomb was dropped on them by an unidentified helicopter. At the time of this report, the police is saying, the police command in Nasarawa State saying that they are working with other sister agencies to find out who the perpetrators are. The governor of the state is also talking with his counterpart in Benue State because the community in which it happened shares a border with Benue State, and they are talking to government. But the governor also said that the incident led to the death of many pastoralists, and he was also thanking the Fulani community, the herders community, for their calm, as they're trying to find out who were behind this strike attack. So as of now, we're thinking, was it a military airstrike that went wrong, or was it from the from our enemies, the insurgents? I guess towards the end of today, we would know exactly what.
He also said that him and his counterpart, Autumn, they are in closed-door meetings to, investigate.
Yeah. Okay, so Governor Nyesom Wike was speaking, I was inaugurating the PDP campaign at the Gokana local government, where he was saying that those who are planning to deal with him if they enter government should perish the idea. He said that God will not allow them access to Aso Rock. He said his political crime has always just been his insistence that the party must practice equity and fairness, justice and fairness. He also said that it is quite laughable that his detractors would not win the poll to have the opportunity to execute their plans against him. He's saying that he remains strong and is a proponent of equity, and that he's going to ensure that was even laughing at them, saying that you've not even gotten there yet, and you're already threatening that when you now get there, what will you now do? That they should perish the idea, it's not going to happen, that you should dare him, let them try it, you see what will happen to you. So Governor Wike is already he's speaking stuff as always. Okay,
let me take the major headline.
Okay.
The presidential candidate for APC was speaking at Kuto, Abeokuta, the Moshood Abiola Stadium, addressing a political rally, and he mentioned the fact that the fifth columnists are the problem of Nigeria. They are they are using the fuel scarcity as well as the redesigned Naira note, as scarcity of the redesigned Naira note, as a political campaign against him, and that the issues on ground will be resolved. He promised Nigerians, he's been saying it, that his manifesto would bring Nigerians growth, and he asked Nigerians to get their PVC, go out and vote, and saying that they will not be distracted, that the people that are pushing the narrative to gain political awareness would lose, as they did in 2015 and in 2019. And he also mentioned that he would be reducing the price of fuel, and Nigerians should be rest assured that the fuel crisis will be over. That let me quote him, he said, let them keep the fuel, let them keep hoarding the money, let them change the money, we shall defeat them. PDP will fail again. It doesn't matter whatever they do. So
it was quite sad if it is correct that this redesign is a political tool. That's really sad, because Nigerians obviously are really concerned about this, the scarcity of the naira, and the fact that fuel is also scarce right now. So if this is being used as political tool, that would be really, really sad. Moving on quickly now to the Punch. Recent crisis aimed at stopping me, says Tinubu. Suspense as tribunal decides Adeleke Oyetola's suit on Friday. Ikpeazu Ohaneze mourn Abia PDP governorship candidate. Parties back U.S. visa ban on election riggers. Duty hike used vehicle imports fall by 40%. Voting article will be a mistake, says whistleblower. Banks ration new notes, Emefiele shuns reps. FG budgets 1.2 trillion naira to service CBN loans. So Emefiele did not go to that meeting again.
He didn't go to the meeting, no. He didn't go to the meeting. They set up the meeting. He was asked to come. He didn't come. And the Punch did their own investigation. They went to several banks. A lot of the banks did not have the new notes. And their ATMs, all their ATMs were shut down. They went to Zenith Bank, United Bank for Africa, Access Bank, Stanbic, all along Iju Road. And it was observed that the ATMs were neither dispensing the new Naira notes or the old ones. So
that's Lagos.
They didn't go to just Lagos. So
okay.
They went to. Sorry. Okay. This is in Lagos as well. But if I remember, I think they also went to
other states.
Other states. Yeah.
Okay. Let's which story again?
Yes, I have another story. So the governor of Abia State, Okezie Ikpeazu, is condoling with the family of the recently deceased governorship candidate of the PDP in the state, Professor Uche Ikone. He was 67 years old. He died after a brief illness in a hospital in Abuja. I mean, he was running, for office as a gubernatorial candidate on the PDP platform, and he met his demise. And so the PDP in the state have been asked to fly their flags at half-mast, and also a mourning period for till Monday, and then before other election activities will resume. I also like that the APC candidate is, his competitor, on the other side, also condoned with him and says that it's a huge loss for not just the family, but the whole of the entire Abia state and the country, because this is a man that has contributed immeasurably to the training of many professionals as VC. And I picked this side of the story because I wanted us to realize how, humanity first.
Yeah.
In spite of the differences in political ideas and opinions and parties, in the end, we're all human beings, and we should show decency towards each other.
So it's only Lagos they went to the central bank paper, paper. Ikeja, Ojodu, Iju.
Okay.
That's where they went.
So Michael Achimugu has been trending. He's the whistleblower that is that's actually raised some allegations against Atiku Abubakar. Now he was the one that released an audio where Atiku was involved in taking advantage of federal contracting expenditures. According to the audio, which they could hear Atiku saying that, you see, what happened was that when we came into office, I advised the president against open corruption. I told him, give these 3 people that you trust, and I will prepare companies for which they will be subscribers rather than directors. So if there's any contract that is given, they will act as consultants, and then they'll be given a fee, and it's that fee that we use to run the party. So according to the audio he gave, according to this whistleblower, Atiku had given 3 names, Oyewole Fashawe, Andy Uba, and late politician from Borno. So according to him, these are the funds that were used for quite a lot of government contracts. So
We hear these things.
We hear it.
Gossips, but
yeah.
it's like,
but this is a whistleblower bringing evidence. He's saying that this is hearing that. So he said that when they asked him that, what are you doing? He said he's a Nigerian youth, and because he has this information, he just feels that it will be a big mistake for Nigerians to go and vote for Atiku, because if you think it's in corruption, if Atiku becomes president, that's how you know what corruption.
My problem with the guy, I'm not saying don't whistleblow, but you were talking to someone you were working for at the time. That means you set him up by calling him because you were recording. He was recording the conversation. That means it was a setup originally, and you were supposed to be working with the guy. So I just find it very.
And it was a father-son relationship. They had a father-son relationship. They were pretty close, according to him. So they were.
And I'm not an Atiku person. I don't.
But you just question his loyalty.
I just,
as long as what I am hearing is Atiku's voice and the content is there, I understand. It's clear. Let's remove the information from the person, from the issues. Is the information accurate? It looks from based on what I'm hearing, unless it's been doctor. I don't know now, based on what it is. I didn't hear it, but I'm just going like what's the operation. Let's go. It's going to break.
If so, then he should be arrested.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we will continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Nigeria needs focused leadership.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
It's not just web, or who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So Laifa had a very, very interesting
You wouldn't want to work with who?
Not
There's no
disrespect.
judgment.
No, and I
Oh, they'll
respect,
judge you
I
definitely,
respect
but we
this
won't judge
certain
you.
type of people. But what I dislike so much is when they tend to come to work and then they pour all their
Resentment from
on
home.
you. Is it me that offended you? I'm not the one. I have no business. My mom just come and work with you, pay me at the end of the month, and let me go back to my house in peace and sleep. But when it comes to like divorced people, I cannot work with a divorcee. I can't see myself doing that. If I find out, if you can hide it or not, but if I find out,
When they're nice divorcees.
I would just
What
be.
if they are nice?
Okay, now it depends. If you are nice, cool. But if you are the type that you don't know how to keep your anger to yourself, you always pour it on somebody. Well, I'll just drop my resignation letter, no matter the amount you're paying me.
So it's more passive aggressive people.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, definitely.
And I cannot work with stingy people.
See this one.
Because you cannot be passing me in the morning, afternoon. I can say, oh, hi, yeah, I'm working. Oh, yeah.
All right, still reviewing Punch. Just to
Yes. So I have a story about importation. Imported vehicle crashed by 40% due to the e-evaluation. So if you remember, the customs service introduced the VIN, vehicle identification number, clearing of imported vehicles, and the hike in price. This has led to a 40% reduction in importation of vehicles, and the information came from the Assistant Controller General Sulaiman Bumai, but he disclosed that based on the figure that was brought in as revenue, 229 billion naira came into the federal government's coffers in 2022, which is about 96% of their projected revenue target of 238. So they actually made money. They only fell short by 5 billion, but they made the money from 60% of what they got of the vehicles they bought in last year. So the hike made more cash flow in, but the number of vehicles that would have come in dropped by 60%. They also said that one of the biggest challenges they had in 2022 was that they don't have scanners, and I've been hearing about this scanner issue for so long that I'm still surprised that it's an issue that they have at the Ports and Terminal Multipurpose Limited Command of the Nigerian Customs Service. But they are saying they're looking for 2023 where they will have the scanner. It will increase the efficiency within the ports. They also say they need more space so that it will be easy to clear ports. They listed the number of things that they seized. Vehicles that were seized were not much, that were trying to conceal weapons and stuff into the country. But it seems like a good report, and revenue seems to be going up.
Okay, Daily Sun, Naira redesigned fuel scarcity ploy to sabotage elections, says Tinubu. PDP to conduct fresh primary as Abia Gubo candidate dies. Kumuyi, Catholic bishop, advised Nigerians on election. NNPC retail outlets making genuine efforts to address fuel scarcity, says NATO. You are power drunk, Abia Commissioner tells Onye Jiocha. And US announces visa restrictions for individuals undermining democracy in Nigeria. Okay, story.
Please let me take the power drunk. The Abia Commissioner for Information, Eze Chikamanyo, I wish Obiajulu was here. Chikamanyo has said that the tenure of the House of Rep member Nkiru Onye Jiocha will soon be over. He says, he was reacting to a statement that the lawmaker made, saying that all the commissioners are beggars. He said that, this one, you just give me permission, I must read it. He said that her delusions of grandeur are disturbing to me as a person. To me personally, because I thought that the elevated office which she occupies in the Federal House of Reps on behalf of the great people of Unyocha, please, Igbo people, please give me, I'm sorry. Anyway, would have cured her of her arrogance. But, like, she said that in full view of the world, she turned her own unsuspecting husband, Kingsley Onyoja, into a beggar in his own house. He's now shamelessly referring to the commissioners in Abia State as beggars. an infantile attempt to instigate the innocent public and denigrate the Abia Executive Council. Then he went on, again. Then he said this one again. He said, ironically, while the whole Abia except perhaps Nkiru is aware of her checkered antecedents, she keeps pretending to be wholly hypocritically pontificating on issues that directly indict her in all dimensions.
Okay. These are two politicians already.
Okay, I think we get the point. There
was a lot of insults.
Anger.
Despite repeated efforts to avoid her, she has refused to respect herself.
Wow.
Nkiru prefers to overprice herself and dabble in avoidable conflicts that threaten the prevalent atmosphere of peace.
I've enjoyed this story, seriously.
I love the story.
It is an average Nigerian. We just like anger, aggression. Whenever they are fighting. That's so, you see, this your behavior right now, like, it just shows how Nigerians are. Many of us are angry. We just want people to be fighting, and you're enjoying it. See, we are enjoying the story. That's the problem.
It's not us.
That's the problem. So whenever you vote, because we're going to vote somebody, just going to fight everybody. When you vote somebody that will fix Nigeria. Vote somebody that just fight.
No, this was another fighting about Nigeria. Now, this is just,
I'm extrapolating.
Politicians have been their own private.
I'm telling you out of line.
Because I don't even know her own antecedents. I'm
making you understand that the way the excitement you show in your face is the excitement we also
it's
have.
Not excitement. It's just, I'm just surprised that public officers will be talking like this.
Anyway, let's move on.
And it is on the pages of the papers.
I want to take Pastor Kumuyi. Let us flip it a bit to something more sanctifying. Holy people are speaking. So Pastor Kumuyi of the Deeper Life Bible Church and also Bishop Diocese of Abeokuta, Reverend Peter Olukayode, they're both were speaking separately at separate events, but they were both simply saying that Nigerians must go out and exercise their civil rights during the elections, and they should not sell their votes, stressing that that such would further compound the issues and challenges Nigeria is facing. They said that the Christian church is praying, but prayer is not enough, that we must back that prayer with actions by actually going out to vote. Nobody feels comfortable in the face of insecurity, but we should all in our little corner be doing something to change the situation that we have in. So I think that is just the kind of message we need at this time. Okay,
so I want to take the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO, Alhaji Yusuf Lawal Uthman, speaking concerning the petrol scarcity, says that the NNPC retail outlets are making genuine effort. According to him, is absolving NNPC retail outlets of blame concerning scarcity. He says that some quarters are making unfounded diversionary comments. He also describes the composition of the 14-man steering committee on petroleum product supply and distribution management chaired by the president as audacious and necessary step to resolve the crisis ridden downstream sector. Is appealing to the members involved in the haulage of petroleum products to refrain from activities that could sabotage the federal government's efforts in ending the nightmare that is taking its toll on Nigeria and crippling the economy. And he's saying that he's just calling on all law-abiding citizens and patriotic members of the transportation of petroleum vehicles to please desist from illegal bunkering, smuggling and diversion of petroleum products, because it is still ongoing right now.
Okay, so there's another part of the story which is another paper, but we'll just take it now to just save time, and that is the House of Reps yesterday has asked security agencies, relevant security agencies, to fish out oil marketers and other economic saboteurs who are responsible for this fuel scarcity. They believe that there are some people who are deliberately trying to sabotage us, and that this is not as a result of any shortage of supply from source. So they're saying that for over 3 months there had been persistent scarcity of PMS in many parts of the country, adding that the situation is getting worse. Uneven pump prices being dispensed by filling stations across the country, which is fueled by speculations that government might have begun to remove subsidy on petrol. The lawmakers also noted that payment, which was hitherto made in Naira, was now being made in dollars, alleged that the scarcity was associated with saboteurs among some of the key stakeholders who are deliberately manipulating the system. And he's just saying that the security should expose these Nigerians and bring them to book.
Okay, moving on now to... are we taking Vanguard?
No.
How to fight inflation by NESG, OPS, other stakeholders. NJC okays appointment of 84 new judges, 9 heads of courts. Reps to security agencies arrest all marketers behind fuel scarcity. Polls, US announces visa ban on Nigerians undermining democracy. Fuel scarcity, Naira redesign plots to sabotage polls, says Tinubu. And over 70 killed in Nasarawa, Niger airstrike explosion. Okay, who has the US story? Nobody took this US visa ban story.
No, they have said that all the diplomats who are involved in whatever they are involved in,
rigging,
undermining democracy, they are going to ban them and their families, because God's own country, they are watching us, they are watching, and they are prepared for the to monitor us, their children.
Big brother.
The big brother, America. So if you are involved in any, you will not give visa to America.
Okay, so I think we have to run out of time. That's all we can take. I'm not sure we can take Tribune. Although there was an important story, COVID-19, who has asked to COVID-19 has been on an increase since December 2022. The WHO raises alarm. We have to be very careful. We're just being campaign up and down, forgetting that it's COVID-19.
Yes, it's saying that in past 8 weeks, no fewer than 170,000 people have died from COVID-19. 8 weeks. And, you know, he's saying that a lot of the reasons is vaccinations. So many people have not taken vaccinations. Those who have not taken their boosters yet, and other things. And there's Lassa fever in Edo State. They have confirmed about 90-something people who have died from Lassa fever.
Let me remind Nigerians, all your vaccines, most of them expired because we did not go and the same way we are begging you to go and pick up PVC. We're begging them to go and get vaccinated. So they say it's government, because many, the thing got expired. Nobody going to go get the vaccines. Beg you to go and think that will save your life. I took my booster. I'm complete 100%. But Nigerians, it's just unfortunate that you have to keep begging and appealing, something for your own good. Pick up PVC to vote for your own good. Go and get vaccinated for your own good. No, they'll come to your house and feed you. And, I mean, come on. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we absolutely must do better. When we come back, move on to other stories. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
And ask questions if I want to ask questions. And if it's something that I saw coming, I may not even ask questions. I may just... I may even tell you I saw this.
What if it's in person? But then, would it make a difference where? So, like, this person might just say, you people can just be on 3rd Milan Bridge. On a bike. And the person say, babe, I cannot do it again. And you lose range. So, what would change the scenario? Like, does it matter where? Do you want to have like a fancy dinner, like the film you were mentioning?
No, like finding your
or do you want to be on the street?
No, carry me go fancy dinner.
Or you are just una dey run for treadmill.
Or you not a job.
Don't tell you lose for your web.
Now I don't turn attempted murder.
So which would it be? Because I'm like, in person you have the closure that you want and the few injuries.
Guys, that's one place. It could be inside the car. You can sit inside the car.
Why car? Why not bike?
Who will be driving?
Why bike?
Who will be driving at this point?
The car will be stationary.
Pray I'm not the one driving.
The car will be stationary.
Because I go master. You can't be telling me like me. I'm going to drive near water. You must consider.
It's not just where, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
And ask questions if I want to ask questions. And if it's something that I saw coming, I may not even ask questions. I may just... I may even tell you I saw this.
What if it's in person? But then, would it make a difference where? So, like, this person might just say, you people can just be on 3rd Milan Bridge. On a bike. And the person say, babe, I cannot do it again, and you lose range. So, what would change? What would change the scenario? Like, does it matter where? Do you want to have like a fancy dinner, like the film you were meant to be
like finding your beauty?
Or do you want to be on the street?
No, carry me go fancy dinner.
Or you might just una dey run for treadmill.
Or you na dey jog.
You tell you lose for your web.
Now I don't turn attempted murder.
So which would it be? Because I'm like, in person you have the closure that you want and the few injuries.
Guys, that's one place. It could be inside the car. You can sit inside the car.
Why car? Why not bike?
Who will be driving?
Why bike?
Who will be driving at this
point? The car will
point?
be stationary.
Pray I'm not the one driving.
The car will be
pray.
stationary.
Because I go master. You can't be telling me like me. I'm going to drive near water. You must consider.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Made Kuti in the view. It's still 7 of 7, and we've been doing a whole lot of protesting. The only thing that remains is just to carry placard.
It's about 5 of 7, to be honest. Because, ask your question. I have so much to speak about once we finish.
We will not give you the time because it's 7 of 7.
I will make the time now. He said he will not ask questions about science.
No.
About neuroplasticity.
And based on...
He asked a question that was subjective about high life. And he did not finalize his answer about a Kuti question where there are only 3 of us.
Editor, scratch this part out.
That could have possibly composed the music.
Editor, scratch this part out.
Stupidity is an act of ignorance.
Hey God, Made.
Was composed by which Kuti?
Femi Kuti.
Is that your final answer?
God, I'm Seun Kuti. No, wait, Femi Kuti.
You said
Femi Kuti. Wait.
Thanks for staying with us. Vitafoam and I Create Club started a special 13-week segment with us last year. Week after week, we got to interview children from some of the best private and public schools where the club and Vitafoam have invested their time and resources nurturing creativity. The interviews have been very inspiring, and today we'll be speaking to the last but definitely not the least of our guests. Hello, Tishe. How are you?
I'm fine.
It's lovely to have you on the show, but before we go on, Flo, let's watch a short clip about your competition. Let's watch this.
My name is Ozokwor and I attend grade primary school. I'm in grade 4 as staff, and I came 3rd place in the I Create Club Vitafoam competition. I first heard about the competition in grade 2 and I loved everything I saw about it. The pillows and the beautiful prizes they give their winners. When I finally reached primary 3, I was super excited because this was a chance to show people how I love painting and drawing. I practiced and practiced and practiced. Earlier on, my mom had got me an art teacher for the home in addition to the art I did in school. So my art teacher taught me some things that helped me improve my artwork in school and at home. When I got to the competition venue, the hall was so big, filled with contestants, judges, and a lot of other people watching me. Even though I was nervous and excited at the same time, I just imagined the whole audience were just a bunch of my favorite dolls. I'm so glad I got to be able to make my school proud because they invested a lot in me. And I'm glad I also made my parents proud because my mom does a lot of creative things in her business, and I'm glad I got to show her I'm creative too. Once again, I create and write my phone for the experience and the awesome gifts I was given. I also love the fact that they gave other children prizes even though they did for first, second, or third. I also want to thank you for the motivational letters you gave me in preparation for the competition. Thank you.
Nice.
Nice, well done, Tishe. I have a funny question for you. In this video that we just watched, you said you think that you imagine that the audience was were your favorite dolls. So, 2 questions. The first one, were you coming to the studio today, were you nervous at all? And are you imagining that we are your favorite dolls and even the audience?
I'm a bit nervous and I'm still imagining all of you are a bunch of my favorite dolls.
Nice. Oh.
So I'd like you to tell us about this, your beautiful pillow art which earned you the 3rd place in the competition.
We were given the theme ocean, so I had to do something that thought of ocean. So I used 3 shades of blue. The top will be light blue, the bottom will be dark brown, the medium will be a bit lighter, darker than the light blue. It consisted of fishes, whales, seaweed, and many other things.
So how did you arrive at the choice of the materials when you were making the choices?
My art teacher at home and my art teacher at school have always told me that whenever I have any artwork, I always need to sign it so that people will know it's mine if they don't know who it is and they're looking for the person who owns it.
Okay, so we hear that the art competition made you explore your artistic side and that you came with one particular piece. Are you going to show us that piece?
Very well.
Yes, here. Ah.
Oh, wow.
This is
you
beautiful.
did that?
Yes.
Oh, Tisha, you did that. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Oh, my God. Gorgeous.
So these are the materials, but how did you come across these materials?
Fighter Foam and I Create have always taught us that I can use some things around us to make our artwork more beautiful. Wow. Because my mom owns a fabric shop, I had to use some of her fabrics to make my drawing look interesting.
Ah, and the match
really nice.
This is lovely.
Lovely, really, really lovely. In fact, it's giving me the idea for my next outfit that I'm going to sew.
So I'm going to, the question is to you as a teacher. How important would you take inter-school competitions like this one, being organized by I Create Club and Vita Foam? How important do you think these kind of competitions are for the development of the children?
Okay, usually when we get invitations of inter-school competition, the organizers just leave the school to prepare the children. But with iCreate Club and Vitafoam, it's a different ball game. You know, they come into the school, spend so much time with the children, they send them motivational letters, you know, and that's also is a step in the right way, you know, to be involved in what they are doing, not just leaving the school to do the job, you know, giving them, at first they start with a competition stage, the nurturing stage, where they help the children come all out, expose them to several creative ideas. You know, they tell them how great, smart, and intelligent they are. And this is a thumbs up.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, you just explained how what sets iCreate and Vitafoam apart from other competitions. Tell me, I know that Tishe is probably one of our last guests, but what words would you have to say as we wrap up for this season with Vitafoam? What words do you have to say to Vitafoam and iCreate?
Okay, this is Great Bloomer School saying a very big thank you to Vitafoam and iCreate Club. You know, this contributed their quota to the educational sector. You know, it's really, really something that the children would never forget. You know, starting from the classroom, the pre-competition stage, then it's moved to the inter-school competition, and now to a very big TV set. You know, this is a defining moment for the children. You know, when they look back in time, they would never forget this in a rush. And we look forward to partnering with iCreate Club and Vitafoam going forward. We're looking forward to more prosperous years together, and they should keep contributing their quota to the educational sector.
Right.
And thank you. God bless you.
Well, Tishe, I must say this is beautiful. It's gorgeous, and I think you should frame it. Put in your
this
room.
as well.
Have a date. That's something. You sign up on it, so you remember when you did it. You know, when I was in primary school or something. So, but this is beautiful.
Is that a wheel?
And
Yes, that's a wheel.
well done. It's a
Really
fantastic
nice.
piece.
Can I look at it?
Okay, man.
I love
So, as we wrap up,
We love it. Environmental.
as we come to an end of this segment, we want to say a big well done to Tishe and all other children who have come on set to share their creatives with us and our audience. It was a very big deal for these children who are not used to all the lights and cameras to have come on set and share the amazing work they have done with iCreate Club and Vitafoam. I particularly want to thank Vitafoam. Well done. And also iCreate Club with their teacher. She's been amazing. We've done a good job so far. Educational sector. Remember, the final Vitafoam memory pillows will be going out. For a chance to win, visit the iCreate Club's Instagram page at iCreate Club NG so you can participate. Well done, Tishe. Good job.
Thank you.
Your parents are so proud of you. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, more to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
And ask questions if I want to ask questions. And if it's something that I saw coming, I may not even ask questions. I may just... I may even tell you I saw this.
What if it's in person? But then, would it make a difference where? So like, this person might just say, you people can just be on 3rd Mainland Bridge on a bike, and the person say, babe, I cannot do it again, and you lose range. So what would change? What would change the scenario? For, like, does it matter where? Do you want to have like a fancy dinner, like the film you were mentioning?
No, like finding up you, right?
Or do you want to be on the street?
No, carry me go fancy dinner.
Or even just una dey run for treadmill.
Or you not a job.
Don't tell you lose for your web.
Now I don't turn attempted murder.
So which would it be? Because I'm like, in person, you have the closure that you want and the few injuries.
Guys, that's one place. It could be inside the car. You can sit down inside the car.
Why car? Why not bike?
Who will be driving?
Why bike?
Who will be driving at this
point? The car will
point?
be stationary.
Pray I'm not the one driving.
The car will be stationary.
Because I'll go master. You can't be telling me like me. I'm going to drive near water.
All
of us should consider.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
It's not just where, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So like, if I had a very, very interesting...
You wouldn't want to work with who?
There's no judgment.
No, and I respect,
they'll judge you definitely, but we won't
this
judge
certain
you.
type of people. But what I dislike so much is when they tend to come to work and then they pour all their
resentment from
on you. Is it me that offended you? I'm not the one. I have no business. Man, just come and work with you, pay me at the end of the month, and let me go back to my house in peace and sleep. But when it comes to like divorced people, I cannot work with a divorcee. I can't see myself doing that. If I find out, if you can hide it or not, but if I find out,
when they're nice divorcee.
Thanks for staying with us. So on Thursdays, we like to talk about marriage, family, life, and parenting especially. But today, Patience Ozokwor caught our attention when she was saying that she would never advise anyone to leave their marriage because of infidelity. According to her, it's if at all anyone should leave, it should be the visitor or even the man, but not her. What are your thoughts on this? And I know we've discussed the issue of infidelity a trillion times on this show, but the truth is that it never goes old because people still have to be faced with these things. And infidelity doesn't happen just because somebody wants to hurt the other person. They are always led by feelings of need or want for some things that you don't have. It's like the person is feeling the void sometimes. And many people are usually advised that if somebody cheats because there's a problem, why don't you help fix the problem so the cheat doesn't happen? Well, we found that today, whoever is going to cheat will cheat regardless of how great the homes are. There's some beautiful, model-looking, hot-looking, well-exposed, educated people that are still dealing with this issue. So it's not the perfect woman or the perfect man. Something is missing that causes them to leave. And when they finally leave, or when they finally cheat, should we continually be bonded by this thing called marriage? I mean, because people hold on to it, I will never leave, then be the ones to leave. But it's because of the value we place on this document called marriage. Many people today are saying, listen, open marriages. You do, I do, we're happy, the kids are being raised well, nobody knows, everybody's feeling their void in different ways. It's a conversation that we need to keep having because what are deal breakers? Or should we even make it a deal breaker anymore and just live with it? Because men have needs, women have needs. What are your thoughts on this new way of saying, listen, our mother says they will stay. I'm not staying. I don't want to leave either, but I want to be able to do mine outside and let him do his. And we're all happy as we're adults. So what do you think about this conversation? Especially also linking to what Patience Ozokwor said. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-3907-6948. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. So this perspective of that person should leave, is it outdated? Or should we still continue to hold on to this, listen, hold the marriage, let the visitor be the one to go, or find new options of dealing with it?
Okay, so traditionally in the Nigerian space, when cheating takes place, it's always a case of the man tends to own the house and the man brings another woman in, and either the lady leaves or she's chased out and somebody takes her place. So Patience Ozokwor's comments in terms of saying that she won't leave is for me an indication of I'm willing to forgive the man that cheats, I'm willing to make the marriage work, and I'm going to stay in that marriage because of all I've invested, which for me strikes really old school too. Yeah. In modern terms, there's no I'm going to leave the house for the man or the man will send you out of the house, because in most new families everything in the house is 50-50 to a large extent. The man is paying house rent, the woman is bought the fridge, paying DSTV, paying this one, like everything in that house. There is the male and female, husband and wife have a lot of contribution into the house. So there's no I'm walking away from the house. For those that are building, I recollect several cases where you see they say, the man's money finished. It's the woman's money that did the roof. The woman did the finishing in the house. So really, you can't say it is my house. There is no that setting like that anymore. And so the idea of the woman leaving or the woman being chased out of her husband's house by another woman is not a conversation as such. But there are some that the reality is still like that, and they're going to have to deal with the with facing the fact that maybe their husband will be sending them out of the house. And for those kind of people, it would the case of forgiveness tend to be more in front of their faces. Modern women are not really that forgiving anymore. They say cheating has become a major deal breaker because they feel like, why would you? I'm faithful to you.
I want us to think of the fact that cheating. Modern women are saying cheating is no longer a deal breaker. If you cheat, it's because you want something. Me to allow me to cheat somewhere else.
Are you sure?
I'm not all modern women. I'm just saying that because we are hearing more of this. It sounds like it's not in our circles because we don't have that. But a lot of people are facing the fact that, listen, they are doing it behind closed doors. Nobody knows. Wow. It's being done. So the man is thinking, I am the one that is cheating. But the woman is acting, but she's also getting happy somewhere. So the point is that we don't want to normalize it or make it normal. We're saying that men and women should know there are more options on the table now. The option is not about the person. I would not let you take my husband. She's like, you can go.
Wow.
What do you think?
Okay.
Like a wisdom. Some gray.
Give us some.
I mean, this is a very difficult topic for me because for me, cheating is not a deal breaker. Like I always say it here, my father had 27 wives, my mother didn't go. I'm not saying she was happy, but she didn't leave. And it's not that my man will cheat and I will say, oh, myself, I'm going to cheat my own. If it comes to that, let me just be going.
Yeah.
You know? So it's very difficult for me. It's what is your own deal breaker? Everybody has their... My own deal breaker is if I find out that my own partner is sleeping with another man. That's my deal breaker. I will run. They won't even beg me. I will be.
That's cheating now.
But cheating get cheating. You know, cheating different. A woman, if you're cheating with a woman, I can. But if you're cheating with a man, that one a deal breaker.
Can I ask, what if it's? How about if it's someone that is very close to you? Would you mind? Would you close your eyes if it was someone farther away? Or would you insist that this is over if it was someone really close to you? If it was a cousin or a friend that's always been with you, which one would?
I love that question. Because there, I may not be able to tolerate it. I will, if I'm living with the man, I will move out. And if he wants to see me, he can come and see me. I may not leave him, but I will leave his house.
Interesting.
That's different. Wow.
But when you say, if the person, because me, for example, if the person is far away in Japan, far away in Canada,
I don't know.
It's one of those things. But you see, those kind of, it starts with that. But then the conversation starts, because now people are now doing video calls. So there's no more distance in these things. We think they're far away in Japan. Trust me, they're not that far. They're very visible. But let me hear your thoughts on this.
Okay, so my own is cheating is cheating, and I agree with Waike. Whatever is your deal breaker, you know, you handle it. The question I would like to answer is don't leave the marriage, he should leave the marriage. The moment one person leaves, there's no marriage to stay back. A home, the marriage is made up of the man and the woman, you know, together. If one person leaves the home, as far as I'm concerned, there's no marriage anymore. So even if you insist on staying in the house and the person leaves, the marriage is over.
But the person cheats on you, not
no. Yes, but you know, she also goes ahead to say that you are not. Don't leave. Instead, the person should. The man or the person who is cheating. We're just assuming is the man here, but the spouse who is cheating should leave. And for me, that's already the end of the marriage when the person leaves. So there's no marriage anyway. So the thing is, we should. I think cheating is, you know, there's like context. Some people will say, okay, you know, as you grow older, you hear people's stories, and then you realize, okay, there's sometimes you see someone behaving a certain way, and when you sit back and ask and find some more information, you find that someone was nearly pushed out to be intimate with someone else. The other person may not be cheating, but has sort of tuned out of the marriage, tuned out of any sort of conversation, even concerning intimacy or whatever within the marriage, and this person now goes out. To the outsiders, I think it's a big deal, but the person inside, the man or the woman inside, is thinking, you know, to be honest, I sort of created this situation. We even had conversations about it, and I've created a situation, and that's it. So that's the thing about cheating. Until you sit down with individual couples and understand what it is,
because you know
there's no blanket approach.
There are some women
dealing
that
with it.
think, oh, I'm not going to sleep with this man to punish him,
and that causes.
And what happens is because that intimacy between the man and the woman happens also in the bedroom. Now, once you now create that vacuum. The man is going to go outside.
What if the man is the man is one creating a vacuum? Where he's not like, for example, there's some men of God, some pastors that believe that they are so righteous, and they just that the other woman is ungodly, and the woman is there. Maybe she used to be a former beauty queen, gave her life to Christ, you know, and she feels that she's lived a bit of the secular world. Now she's married to this minister, and who is just a whole, very holy guy. And then she's now trying to, okay, yes, I'm now in the world, I'm not in Christ, but I still would like to feel in this guy. I still like to look sexy. I like to feel that way. I like to, in my bedroom. But the man is like blood of Jesus. So there are some men like that.
That blood of Jesus, maybe he's a homosexual.
Let's go. Let me go back to something you said.
I'm serious
about
red flags.
Someone cheating in response to a cheat, and it goes to what we've always said: pressure reveals content. You will not become we shouldn't allow ourselves become something
we are not
because we are being pressured. And if that happens, some women feel like this person has done, or some men feel like, how can you do that to me? I've been very faithful in this marriage, and then I've seen a lot of men cheat. I don't cheat. Then suddenly you find out your wife is cheating. Then the man decides to now also go and cheat because you did it to me. I'm going to do it back like a revenge. But the truth is, we mustn't allow ourselves become something different from who we are. We mustn't allow pressure change our content. We must allow pressure reveal the goodness of us from our heart.
Okay, let me give
and pressure is very, very present.
Let me give you a context, because I've always thought about this in different ways. There are some young people that we pressure to get married. There's some people that they're not ready, or because they meet some nice guy, mommy said it's time, and they just want to get something, let me just get married. Guy, girl, same thing. And you feel that pressure, and you meet a nice guy, decent guy, looks nice, got a good job, marry him. But inside you, the connection is not there, but you hope that you build the connection. As you mature, he's also finding out that the spark wasn't really there. We both came together for circumstances. We know a few people that married because of circumstances, that they got pregnant, something happened. As you grow older, the man finds that, okay, he's attracted to somebody else. The woman too, even though she has tried to make this work, finds that her heart's actually connected to somebody else. But they have children, and they have a contract, as the marriage contract with them. So they don't want to destroy her because of the kids. So there is a genuine internal. I know marriage is about being deliberate, but internally your heart is somewhere else. So it's not like you want to cheat. It's not like you're that bad person that wants to cheat. But your heart is not there anymore.
Falling in love with someone else.
You fall in love with someone else. So that's the reality. But why is it so difficult for us to say, you know what? You leave, I leave, let's move. Why is it a difficult conversation for us to just force ourselves to stay there? Just because of society, or just because because of the children, we want the kids to have the man and the mother. So we force ourselves to just stay there. And of course, because in the patriarchal society, the man will find his happiness somewhere else. You are 60, looking old. You're not like you are very. You just stayed
like
here. You're not like You're not people like that. So just 60, 65 there, and the man is there. He has done it. So we're trying. Can we find real happiness? Can women be truly happy? Can we help women who are not lucky to find women who are not lucky to find that, who are not to have that perfect bond, to say, can we allow them find love elsewhere at some point? That's the real conversation, because it's the heart of the matter. Many people don't cheat because they want to cheat, they want to hurt you, but it's things that happen that the foundation
might be wrong.
Was wrong.
Someone was saying recently that with men, they sort of from the very beginning have an idea who their spec is. But as you mentioned, circumstances, you're much younger, financially,
a girl that is doing
and that time, and then you finally get married to this person. You now get to the position where you feel you're financially, mentally, spiritually ready for your spec, and at that point, your spec also sees you.
That's life. But Nigeria context, you have to stay. But abroad,
you should
sometimes you both of you have a conversation. Uncle, it's time to go.
Have you read? You've chosen your bed.
Name it. Yes.
So you are now sentenced.
Have you read? Act in haste, repent at leisure.
Let's digest that. Let me take this call from Abuja. Good morning. Are you there?
Yes. Good morning, Morales.
Good morning, sir. You're live.
Good morning.
Yes. For me, I will never cheat on my wife. I will never do that. But if she cheats on me, that's the end of the marriage. There's no meeting, there's no forgiving, there's no apology, there's no amount of meeting that can make me change my mind. Cheating for me is a deal breaker. If you cheat on me, it's over. But I will never cheat. And my wife knows that. Even before we got married, we talked about it. I will never cheat on you. But if it happens, it's up to you to decide whether you want to stay or go. But I will never cheat. That's for me.
Okay. Fantastic, John.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Okay,
for your contribution.
that's interesting that John said that, he said he would never, but if it happens, it also depends on how to stay or go. So is that there's a risk of something like that happening if you're with someone. There's a risk of betrayal coming in. And as we know, cheating is very wide. We have emotional cheating, we have physical, we have just, just wanting to be friends with someone over your wife or over your spouse, over your husband. And so when he says that, for me, it didn't sound, to be fair, but it didn't sound like this is so noble. Let me tell you why. Because for most men, it is very hard for them to forgive cheating. It has always been that way. Well, women can be asked to forgive cheating. So if a man were to call me and says, if my wife were to cheat, we'll have the conversation and see how we can repair this and move on. That would, that for me will stick out, because men have been known. Even just the idea of you may be, and that's the end. So men, can we find out if you're willing to talk to your wife and then move on if she were ever to, slip?
Let me take this call from Niger State. Good morning, are you there? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Very well, you're live.
Thank you. I want to appreciate you people. We really appreciate your program.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I think you are talking about cheating. I think for me personally, the problem we are facing in Africa is both the men and the women. We need to trust ourselves, man. There is serious communication gap. It's unethical to see a married woman to cheat. Cheat is not something we should take for granted in Africa. And mostly, what we discover is a lot of women, they are pretending. And if you are in a relationship, most especially a married woman, you should not pretend. You should say what is your mind, and you should know the stage. You understand? You should communicate with your husband. Majority of Nigerian men are really trying. It's not easy, man. And that's why anytime I watch your program, you people are really advising the Nigerian women. People should be, you can think big, but you should always know your stage. This is the problem we are facing. People want to have money. People they want to reach where they are not. You understand?
Oh, thank you, Etsu. Thank you. So I like the word he used, pretending. The truth is that because the society really pushes young people, especially young girls. Everybody just thinking of them get married. Let me just find somebody in church. He's there, let me just find somebody. Well, you just find somebody, sha. You now enter it, bam. And then you do that because you enter it. You manage for the first 10 years. You just, you just find a way to adjust, because they say the first few years is very, very tough. So you too, you more. But then when you mature, begin to mature, you have your own job, you blossom, you become your own person, and you see better. I'm like, how did I end up with this guy? But if you're in other countries, at that moment you can say, you want to leave, you can step aside. But here, it's not that easy for society to support you to step aside, because you've entered it already. And that's why they say once you enter, that there's no going out. So how do we help a woman in that situation? What kind of advice do you give that kind of person? Stay and fix it?
The truth is, people can grow apart. People can grow into different people. And it's not necessarily that they are bad people. It just means that they've grown so much that they value different things over time, and they make different choices that no longer, you can't find that compromise to remain in the marriage. And like the man said, a lot of people pretend and create this facade like they're together. I see a lot of couples that you see one person has they've relocated, they separated, the wife and children are abroad somewhere, and the man is here living single, and the woman is there. So maybe like 2 times or 3 times in a year you are a family unit, but apart from that you're actually living different. And some people can live separately but be faithful. But in this case, they are living separately but they are unfaithful. So they've actually decided that we would make things work when we are together, but let us just be free when we are apart. that for me is the pretense. That for me is not right. I would rather you're mature enough to say this thing is no longer working. You have a life in Nigeria, and the life is really sweet, and you should just stick to it. Let me also have my life in the UK or in the US and be free and stick to it. When we have family events, we come together. It's about being true to ourselves. Being true to ourselves and being honest with ourselves and having that tough conversation. Why it doesn't happen before is a lot of economical. It's largely economical because many people can't make the decision because you need the other person's financial support and resources or connection and all of that, or the protection of having that name. But when money is out of the game and the risk is not financial, people are able to make that decision that I know myself, and I'm looking at you and wondering, can we still make this?
That's where I wanted the conversation to go to, where we face it for what it is.
Question
not pretend.
Yes, question.
That, everything is fine and dandy. When you know, because let's not hide behind, as a fashion let me choose fashion for it. Hide behind a finger. You are doing this thing. We see it.
But you know, the pretense also, I don't know if it's pretense, but there's this scenario where this is something I know. The man is here in Nigeria and lives single. And then the wife is there with the children and he assumes she's faithful. And one time he found something that suggested that she may be in a relation, and all hell broke loose because everybody in Nigeria knows you, that you are living your life as if. So who is pretending and what exactly are you expecting from the other person on the other side? If you yourself, even without the hassle of taking care of the children, you're still just everywhere, you cannot understand that of your wife who sees you maybe once a year or twice in the year.
Let me go to a break. When we come back, we'll take a few more of these comments on social media. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Not just where, but who wouldn't you want to work with?
Yes, that's on that angle.
So Laifa had a very, very interesting...
You wouldn't want to work with who?
There's no judgment.
No, and I respect,
they'll judge you definitely,
I respect
but we won't
this
judge
certain type of people. But what I dislike so much is when they tend to come to work and then they pour all their
resentments
on you. Is it me that offended you? I'm not the one. I have no business. Mom just come and work with you, pay me at the end of the month, and let me go back to my house in peace and sleep. But when it comes to like divorced people, I cannot work with a divorcee. I can't see myself doing that. If I find out, if you can hide it or not, but if I find out,
when they're nice divorcees,
I would just.
What if they are nice?
Okay, now it depends. If you are nice, cool. But if you are the type that you don't know how to keep your anger to yourself, you always pour it on somebody. Well, I'll not drop my resignation letter, no matter the amount you're paying me.
So it's more passive-aggressive people.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, definitely.
And I cannot work with stingy people.
See this one.
Because you cannot be passing me in the morning, afternoon. I can say, oh, hi, yeah, I'm working. Oh, yeah, take 100 naira, take 10K, take 15K. You don't have to be my sugar daddy or sugar mommy. See, the way you treat others is the way they will treat you outside. Yeah. And if you cannot treat your workers well, they are not a good boss. If you cannot be dashing me small thing or giving me donuts when I'm working, you are not a good person.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this matter, not just about cheating, but making decisions, making mature, healthy decisions that is long-lasting and also be helpful and beneficial to all the parties involved. What we find out is that these days, when it comes to cheating, either one person wins, the other person suffers. And we're saying that as we move on, as we're maturing, we need to have more open conversations where everybody goes home happy. If this is not working, if we've grown apart, if we see that this union isn't working, we should be mature enough to accept. And it doesn't have to be always a fight. It should be two adults say, you know what, it's not working anymore. We can have our separate way, live our separate ways, make sure the kids are fine, and move on. But here it has to be about something. If it cheats on you, it doesn't mean that all hell should break loose. Something happened, and then you should have a mature conversation to let it go. But why is it so difficult to have these kind of conversations here?
Mature conversation happens where there's money, and money is given to somebody, and someone feels, okay, I'm losing the marriage, but at least I've got something to... you know, to fall back on. The problem is when I lose the marriage, I lose everything that I'd worked for, and then, like they always say, then this 20-something-year-old girl from nowhere now comes in, and everything that I have acquired and put in the house is no longer mine. I'm now asked to live by myself. In fact, the children self may not even see me as often. That is when people go crazy, like never, we all die here. So I think that's why, you know, when we talk about modern marriages and we're talking about going to the registry, it is really for situations like this, because there have been times, you know, we used to have a time where women just knew if they've lost out, they've lost out. But you're hoping that you have a proper justice system that can sort of give you some sort of compensation. Now, it's not to say that very rich people too find it easier to walk away. Do you know what it means? I can't imagine what it means that I have everything money can buy except this person I feel that is the love of my life. That must be so painful. I mean, you would want, some people want to give up everything that they have so that they can make sure that they work. And those sort of people, you find they employ all resources to see how they can work on that marriage. It's just many things.
Many shades of I was going to ask, you know, there are some men that cheats with decorum. You know, they
respectfully cheating.
You will never know that they're cheating. They cheat far away from home. They don't have a...
They don't put in your face.
It's not in your face. Maybe your gossipy friend just happened to see him somewhere and then I saw your husband with, I don't know which concern them. Those men, they are respecting their wives. The wife cannot know, or at least unless somebody, or she just runs into...
In that situation, can the wife to respectfully cheat? That's the question we're asking.
That's pressure leading you to who you are not.
Are you Tope, there is that one of pressure. That one is in one cooler. There's another woman that the way you to that respectful that you have for me too, because I honestly feel that I need to also respectfully do this, because there's a guy that helps with the supplier of the corn I use for this kidney corn. He's a good guy. He's divorced. And both of us have a good conversation. I can respectfully do it.
That's respectful cheating. The man is retaliation. The man.
Sorry, retaliation.
The man is maybe going to hotels or whatever he's doing. He's going far. You don't know the people. They're not even relationships. They're just They're just runs, just doing runs. You will now say your con guy who is discussing with you, and then the two of you will be sitting down and discussing after you have you now become friends. That one is no more respectful cheating. That one, you have formed a relationship outside your marriage.
Let's put it right. There's nothing like respectful cheating. You said respectful cheating. I know. I didn't call it respectful cheating. I called it that because I wanted to qualify it. But the truth is that cheating is cheating. There's nothing like disrespectful. It's disrespectful. Let me take this call from this call. Good morning. I think I have a call from the UK. I believe. Ade, you're live.
Yeah. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. This is Ade.
Yes.
Yeah. When you talk of cheating, please. I don't support cheating, but let's put it this way. Maybe the man will try to correct his wife about hygiene, but you don't take it to the correction. And the man will be later one day, when no one we like doing things, and we look elsewhere, and there is this cheating language. It's alien to African culture. It's only somebody you are equal with. Husband and wife, the man is the head. They are not equal at all. But they can be one, but they are not equal. So, hygiene can cause it for a man to expert. So please, this cheating language, when today, women in Nigeria, they are doing hookup. Don't say on Facebook to see them, married women. So, what are you talking about? Take care of your home.
I'm not sure I have got
it was talking about. I heard that he said Nigerian women are doing hookup. When we go back to cheating, there is a broad spectrum. The one that many people tend to focus on is the physical cheating, but there are emotional cheating where where either party get attached to the opposite sex for emotional. In an emotional level, where you are confiding in the opposite sex friend. It's not that you're having any physical relationship, but that opposite sex is your confidence. Is the one that you feel you can unburden. That for me, that's the real deal breaker. I want to be the only one that knows my husband's secrets. Yeah. I want to be the first person you will call when there's a challenge. If I can see you having, even if it is a man, like my husband he has his latest very good friend. They've been friends for the past, they're business partners now. I'm getting jealous of everything you're discussing. Any night next to you, you're calling him. You should call me first. And that for me is the communion. That's the relationship. Once there is a gap over time, something else would fill it. So I feel that it's not like we must be inside each other's pocket all the time, but relationships would thrive when you understand each other's needs and you're actively working towards meeting each other's needs. Now, there are some men that I've heard, they will tell you, I'm amazing at home. I take care of my wife in the other room, in the financial part, and I just like flexing some babes outside. And they'll tell you that my wife thinks I'm amazing, but I just do this one, I just like to do this one outside.
Some people say hobby.
And they enjoy it. They feel like it's fun. But my thought is, how would you feel if you find out that this your wife that you think have settled at home is doing the same thing to you? And in most cases, they break down. They cannot even imagine it. So it's that feeling of, what you don't want, you cannot take. Don't dish it out. Yeah. And even if you can take it, don't dish it out if the other person can't take it. And if you're both in that relationship and you find yourself emotionally detached, then be mature enough to face it and tell yourselves that this thing, I don't think it is working. Is it possible that we have grown apart and then we would move on separately and be mature in dealing with the children and not hurt each other in the process?
We have to wrap up on this, but I think we've been able to, because I didn't want it to just be about the regular cheating conversation. I really want us to look at the different ways on how we can understand the emotions behind people's actions. We're going to go on a break now. When we come back, we might move to another topic or take a few calls on this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas. It shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
My name is Detective Samuel Amen.
Jesus! You have 5 seconds to start talking. Would you be scared if someone you knew that was dead suddenly just shows up alive?
How would you even open your mouth and say some nonsense like that?
What nonsense are you talking about?
She's dead and she's not coming back!
Don't use that against me.
You don't tell me my daughters. I know my daughters. I gave birth to them.
So why didn't you report to the police?
No, I mean, that won't be a good idea.
Why are you so one-sided? Why not?
And when I see him at the lobby, I'm gonna catwalk for him. Then I'll wrap my hands around him and pull him into a deep kiss.
Are you still seeing him?
Seriously? Why should I let go? What?
Are you married?
It's complicated.
She made a huge mistake.
I really want to be with him.
He may have an emotional crackdown.
If this is love, I'm down for it.
follow me has refused to fall. What did the gods say?
It's only a weak man that lays his hands on a woman.
What? I will shut down your sharp mouth since you're not killed by your parents.
Eh? It can be.
Now that worries me. Why, if I may ask?
It is ignorance that leads the cockroach into a feast of chickens.
You have a long journey ahead of you tomorrow.
Off you go.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
What brings you here?
I have a message from my master.
He has taken Obumi as slave in this palace.
Here we go.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Looking for some drama?
Yes.
Sit back and catch up with the slaps. Yeah, lots of slap. The drama is endless on TVC.
Thanks for staying with us. So we've concluded on that topic, especially because we're discussing about cheating, and we're sorry bring in an expert. We're trying to bring in some other marriage counselors to help us to talk on this a bit later. But there's another topic that caught our attention that we'd like to move on to right now. And that is our dear Pastor Mike Bameloyi was speaking, and he was saying that different mouths have kissed your mouth in the name of being professional. So he was referring to Nollywood and movies in general. How people are kissing each other up and down in the name of I am a professional. I'd like Miriam to give us a few of his direct quotes so that we know how the premise for this conversation.
Okay, so he also said, the evangelist also said, many actors have kissed cemetery ghosts who are masquerading as movie actresses. He also asked actors to consider how their spouses and children will be affected by watching them kiss each other in movies.
Okay, well, this is an interesting conversation because I wonder how people like Mel Gibson, all the other major actors abroad, where they were younger and they were kissing in the movies, how the children felt seeing their parents kiss, and what kind of adults their children have grown to be today. I would really like to see it, if it really affected their growth. It may have in some ways. We don't know. We don't have the data. But we've seen Sylvester Stallone, we've seen Jada Pinkett, we've seen all the major actors.
Can I just interrupt you there? First and foremost, a lot of these actors and actresses have left their homes to go with the person that they were kissing and making love to on set. A lot of them. Brad Pitt and what's her name? Angelina Jolie. Many of them like that.
There's an attraction that comes on set. Yes, there's an attraction.
So they get attracted. Before you know it, they are living. They are acting.
Yes.
They now start to live their acting. That's one. Now two. When I was growing up, Nigerian movies, those we used to have For Better For Worse and all this kind of plays, I never ever once saw them kissing. I never. When they just reach that level of moving close like this, camera will cut. But now, instead of want to follow American way, and Indian movies, I don't know about now, but in those days, you never meet Indian people kissing on set.
Indian movie has changed though.
I said, I don't know about now.
Let me tell you about now. I will explain that
they are about before. They will do the thing, they will dance the dance, everything. And then,
seductive.
But you have already imagined love and whatever you want to imagine. Suddenly, Hollywood don't take over all our life. Everybody don't become Hollywood. And everybody is now kissing on set. One of my brothers, I won't say which one. He say his own can never ever. If he sees his spouse or chemical acting, kissing, that's the end of the marriage. So that is the end. How can you be kissing? In fact, he quarrels on behalf of people's wives, or his friends who are kissing. You will see what is your own. What is your own? No, it's wrong.
Okay, let's talk about this. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this kissing part.
So it's not easy. That's the truth. But people that marry actors and actresses sort of know it comes with the terrain, and I don't think there's any of them that wouldn't get jealous about the level of intimacy when they see it, because these things happen. It's human. It's like I watch a movie where there's a sad scene, I see and I cry, and then I watch a love scene and I feel the love. But if I'm watching a love scene and I'm seeing my partner really embody the love, I will feel the jealousy, and then a part of me would now be like, that's acting. The reality is with me. So for some people, it takes a lot of maturity to marry actors.
Serious maturity.
A lot. That's why some of them choose to marry themselves. Some of you like, I can't marry themselves. So can understand what I'm
our guest last week talked about Twin. She's married. I can't imagine. I'm not sure I've seen her kiss in a movie, but I can imagine what her husband would feel if she had a kissing or even a full sex scene in the movie. I don't know how he'll take that, number one. But I wonder what this bride has been there, done that. He has a placard. I don't understand. I don't understand. So she is mature.
Yes.
She's a mature woman. She's the one that should be speaking to other actors on how to manage and how to understand
the case of trust and fidelity. Because some people are not kissing on movie scenes, but they are not trustworthy and they are not faithful into the marriage. And some are kissing on movie scene, but they are very trustworthy and they are very faithful to their marriage.
I don't know.
They are just creating scenarios that are.
But let me come to you, Miriam. Your thoughts on this kissing? Did you let your husband kiss on set?
No. Why? Is he an
That's why I didn't marry an actor.
Exactly. But also the evangelist, I mean, he made me laugh when he said you're taking cemetery goals. And the truth is, I agree with him. When I was younger, I used to think it was just acting. But now as a full mature wife of somebody, never. I mean, I don't think I'll ever be comfortable with it, because I mean, precedence shows that we see actors who move on and their marriages crumble because they cannot take themselves out of character. The actors themselves, they tell us, they say you get into character and you become this person.
True.
So, and some of them have told us that it takes a while to even get out of character long after production. It takes them a while, they have to retrace their steps. Then you now tell me we watch a movie and everybody say, oh my God, do you feel the chemistry between them? And I'll be sitting down beside you as everybody's talking about the chemistry between you.
Your husband and
never. But also, I think it talks about how we should, this should be a conversation of how we want to highlight our culture. It's a place where we always talk about our culture. We are conservative, right? Let's use things like this to tell our stories. Do you understand? We talked about the just concluded World Cup and how we had these singers who were fully dressed, and yes, they were so beautiful. It embodied the Middle Eastern culture. Let us do that. And even Hollywood actors are calling out some of their directors. There's a particular well-known Hollywood actor who said that the first time she was in the movie, I think it's Game of Thrones, she said the very first few seasons that, you know, she was asked to really open her body, but as she became more confident in her role and understanding her rights, there are some things she called them out. I said, I don't need to be naked for this. I don't need to do all this for this. Even they find it uncomfortable. So why should we now collect something that people, natural human beings are finding uncomfortable?
We're all raving about a movie that recently now. They're carrying breast up and down. And if there was one recently that they were just naked up and down. So what are we for 1 second? We're like, oh, fantastic. Next second, we're like,
we're not talking about her hair.
We might be raving, people might be raving the movie, but it's not about the scene. But let's come back to what Mike Bamiloye said. Pastor Mike Bamiloye mentioned that evangelist Mike Bamiloye rather mentioned that there are lustful directors. So there are lustful directors who are enjoying the scene and enjoying, and they want that extreme, because it fits them and it suits their personality. Because you can deliver an erotic, engaging scene without anybody being naked, and you will get the message and it will be engaging. But what we try to do is bear it all, because that's what we feel will trend.
But the same way there's a market for pornography. People are different. There are people who do that, and then I'm trying to say that people are different. So if you're a different actor, the director, you're different from you who are your mind. Your mind is already pornographic.
But what I'm saying is, if you want pornography, go and watch pornography. Nobody's. I'm not judging anybody that likes pornography. There's no judgment. But what I'm saying is, in films, I think, I don't know, maybe I'm conservative, maybe because I've grown up in Nigeria. I mean, I was watching a Nigerian film over the weekend. In that film, I saw nakedness. You know, for a Nigerian film, for me, it was like,
I know. Have we reached that level?
Yes. Yeah. But if I see it in an Oyibo movie,
I know, that's how I feel too.
That's them. That's their way. But here, I was like, hey, she showed her breast. She showed her breast. That's me.
Yeah, because the glass ceiling.
Because me, I've grown up in that conservative way. If I
but you know they use stunt doubles. It's not really happening.
And stunt doubles is not the
so the person, listen, the person's face.
I can't even be a stunt double.
The person did not even get any. The person's face did not show. You only saw the person's breast.
Is that not even worse for the stunt double?
But
at least if you did it and your face showed, they can even give you credit and say, look at it. Now they don't even know you have dashed their breast for free.
Yes, you collect money for the breast. But you also know that professional kissing in movies doesn't involve tongue.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It's they're very careful. They stick to the lips alone, because when you get into the tongue is intimate, where you do privately.
But do you know also in real life that you can do kissing without using tongue? So it is a part of kissing. So I don't even know why people say that. Is it all kissings that we do that involve tongue? There are sometimes you do lip kissing. So you're already doing kissing. See, as for me, this thing that we do, I find it very uncomfortable as a co-Nigerian, co-black person to see my co-Nigerian women being handled like that. I don't like it. Oyibo people, I can watch it. I'm used to. I grew up watching it.
Oyibo, that is them. Oyibo didn't start like that. There was a time they were like us, and it was gradual. They were introducing it gradually into Hollywood. That's what these guys are doing, and became the norm. So as we're doing it gradually, so another person doing movie next, we do the same thing, and now our we do the same thing. Before you know it, we're gradual. It's because this time last 30 years ago, wasn't this there? Yes. Now we're seeing full breast.
2020.
So by 2025, by 2030. You are seeing
our children will grow up.
You want to do a producer like us? We old school.
We are producers and directors. Let me think.
We want to bury us quickly. We will not die like that.
But you know, there was a time when the Nigerian Film and Video Censor Board, those ones were the ones that were certified, but now they're not even going into the national. They're not going into cinemas or CDs. You know, I think that it's time for this the Nigerian Film and Video Censor Board to reevaluate what exactly their metrics are and how they would relate with Netflix. So a movie can go on Netflix and has to still be censored by the Nigerian Film.
No, but you see, that's a good point. Now, if you're going to Netflix, you might not have to go through the Nigerian censors, but anymore.
Yeah, I know.
And if I recall, this guy, there's an artist that was saying that if you want to get a certain level, you have to do certain things. You have to, you know how new movies now are reinforcing the LGBTQ thinking. So if you're getting some certain international funding, your movies must begin to embrace this way of life. So nudity is probably another thing where you need to start showing, for you to have access to a certain kind of level of funding. You must have the kind of liberal approach.
Mike Bamiloye, honestly, what we need to do, and there is a Christian, we need to raise standard. We need to raise the standard of Christian movies. We need to raise the funding that goes into ethical and clean movies. We need to have a lot more of it, because at the end of the day, we cannot keep complaining and lamenting about what they show on Netflix. When we don't have a platform, somebody built that platform and they have their agenda, and you cannot fight them on their platform on their own agenda. So you build your own platform, produce amazing content and get funding. And because Christians and Muslims are watching Netflix, and then you not come and complain, I don't like the kind of movie my children are watching.
Well, I'm not a Christian, I'm a Muslim. I'm not even complaining. I'm just alarmed.
Yeah, and you know what you said is right, but also I feel that this is a charge to all Christians and Muslims. I have seen businesses. There's a particular place that I used to go to and was really kid-friendly and would pay to go in, but just a minimal amount of money. But now the place is becoming more and more, it's turned to accommodate like older audience. And so there's a bar there are things more adult. And the truth is, now that it's becoming that, they are getting more customers and they are making more money. So the Christian funding or the Muslim funding for movies and content that we want to watch is that the real truth is Christians, we want to be Christians on Sundays. And then we want to go home and watch our Netflix and our naked bodies.
Yeah.
So it is for us. We're not even. There's no market for them. Exactly. We're so much. We are the ones consuming. There's no other group of people that are consuming. We're the ones that are still consuming this.
And many of our preachers were getting this money to build big edifices, biggest church, mansion.
Biggest church in Africa.
The funding we're getting, these are the kind of things could be better used into knowledge, because that's how you actually change mindset.
Yes.
It's what they see that changes their mindset. So as you're getting funding, it's not about building this huge cathedral. It's about investing in funding, because we want to watch is it that waiting room? That's the waiting room. That's a Christian movie that the whole world practically became a very minister about waiting room. Because somebody funded that.
God's calling.
So God's calling. That's funding. So we need more of those kind of movies to be funded, not just building big edifices.
But I think also before, all this one, they will fund them. Maybe what I'm trying to say is, to the Nigerian directors, there is sensuality and sexuality. There is a big difference. You can be sensual and nice without, you don't have to be
nice
in your face sexual. I think we should still try,
Indian movies used to be sensual then.
Yes.
You know exactly, you get the message. They come so close, they dance, and they come so close, and they won't kiss you, but you got the message. But now, Indian movies have changed.
And they were popular.
Indian movies.
You know, I'm not a film person.
I'm a film person. Indian movies, I watched one recently. Oh, yikes, I was shocked. I saw they were practically. I'm like, hey, am I still watching?
But it was on Netflix. So there's a funding and there's a support. So Kingdom, I call it Kingdom Financiers. It's important that we put our money, because we talk about wholesome movies for our children and movies that actually carries the right values. And
before you forget, We have a pastor that is kissing on set.
Oh!
Yeah,
you just read them.
We have a pastor that is kissing on set. He's a professional.
Who is that? Which pastor?
They say that Pastor Ozokwor is kissing.
He's a man.
Yes,
he's a pastor.
And he preaches. So how is yes, the powerful preacher. I listen to his message and it's powerful.
And he kisses.
He's on set because the character is kissing. He's not the one that is kissing. It's the character that is kissing.
Oh, kiss Gidigo. The kiss was, and you know he's very, very muscular.
Fine guy.
He was a sensual beard.
Was he sensual or sexual?
He was a.
Is he married?
Theater.
Oh, he is married.
I don't know. Is he married?
I don't know.
I'm not sure if he's married, but he was the sharp.
He's not. He's two children. Two children.
Theater.
Evangelist.
And he's a pastor.
I mean, let's go ask him.
Yes. Let's sort out. Let's clear out the Christian.
Clear out the Christian.
Because all of you say, big is he your pastor? Is practice.
I would honestly like to interview him.
Yeah.
And ask him about. We've interviewed him. We asked him about
that question. I don't know what he said.
He just said character. Yes. Movie is movie. Real life.
That's what they say. That is a film. It's just because when you act a scene, you try and become that person, become the scene. You read.
So you're not PJ, you are Kevin. At that moment, you're Kevin. And it's
Kevin is having fun.
My partner is going to act in a film tomorrow. Over the weekend.
Really? Are they going to be kissing?
I don't know yet.
You just check the scripts. You should check the scripts.
Why? No. If she
didn't give me the script. You told me I'd be reading the script. I'm sorry. I didn't ask for the script.
But if she checks the script and she finds out, what can she do?
No, but she will express her.
Would you tell her not to kiss? Wait, let me hear. Would you tell Viking not to kiss? Would you tell Uncle Theo not to kiss?
Can you imagine saying to him,
let me think about it. Let me think. Ask me after the break.
That's not the way I the show. So Uncle Theo might be kissing on the scene. Viking, but I would like to see Uncle Theo kiss.
So you want to go and kiss in front of me?
No, I'm not.
You don't want to kiss your husband in the movie. It's like, oh my God, he's so handsome. You know what Nigeria's life has gone through. We've been praying for RMD's wife for many years. We've been praying for his wife for fact.
It's not just the prayer, it's the jealous. As in, I'm jealousy.
How is the wife? Why? When you watch RMD movie,
even another person, Omonioboli's husband, I'm like,
she doesn't kiss so.
No, not really. Not and she don't imitate her, but they've been married for a long time and she's done. She's done.
I don't remember her kissing anywhere.
They've done.
Done what?
They've no kissing. Like
accent.
They have kissing scene.
I don't remember how many kissing.
And there are several actors.
And that person I like kissing is this girl, Mercy Johnson. I love her kissing sense. She's very real. She's a really nice. She kisses real, you know.
She kisses where?
She's a good kisser on the scene, but maybe she wasn't married. I don't know if her husband
she's been married. So I believe in having a bit of compromise. I remember I believe that when you get married, there should be a bit of actually within the Nigerian scene. I would want you to respect me enough to say that I would not take these roles. I won't do this because I know how sensitive it might be.
That's easy. Let's say spouses. How about your children when they become actors? What would you insist that they don't act something?
That's from getting that your children are going to live their own life. So it's their own spouse that we argue with.
We are talking about no. Please, but then our children now decide to be actors.
They did not have
If my daughter, I know it's too late for that, but if my daughter decides that she wants to kiss him, that is her husband's problem, not mine. If you want to kiss, kiss. Anything you want to do.
But I think I'd like us to end with Evangelist Bamiloye's quote where he was saying that, what's that thing he said about ghosts?
You're kissing cemetery ghosts.
Yes. So please be careful.
Masquerade themselves as actors.
Yes. So please don't kiss cemetery ghosts. And I think the truth, jokes apart, the truth is that it's a profession. They're acting. Even Evangelist actually also is a producer of movies. I mean, Mount Zion. And I know that he has also done love scenes, but they don't do the kissing part, which is, everybody do it according to their own way of doing things. But the truth is that many of us respect people who are professionals in this regard, and I think it's their art, and we shouldn't trivialize the work they do. These are things they've learned to do professionally. So we, instead of complaining, let's fund clean content.
Yeah, and
fund
have more
good
options.
content and give people options and match it dollar for dollar. Let's match it naira for naira so that people know that they have quality good content and to watch, so we don't have to judge what they're doing. That's all we can
not
take.
judging, no.
We're not judging.
We're not judging. You're about to go and kiss. I have to wrap up the show. We will see you tomorrow. Bye bye for now. I'm about to go and kiss.